For all the joy it's brought into the world, it seems hard to believe that Google Gemini was only part of our lives for not even a full week before the thing caused so much embarrassment and mockery that the biggest, most powerful company on the planet actually had to pull the plug completely on a major new product for which they had just done a very high-profile worldwide rollout. And I like to imagine it went something like that scene from Iron Man 2, where Justin Hammer runs around the Senate hearing room pulling all the cords out of the walls because Tony Stark's humiliating him so badly.
I'd like to point out that test pilot survived.
Now, for most of us, this is all just a laughing matter, a comedy gift that might never stop giving. And believe me, I haven't stopped making Chinese George Washington jokes since last Thursday. But for Google, it's turning into something decidedly less amusing, it seems. I mean, unless they were amused by a 4.5% tanking of their stock price and a consequent $90 billion loss in valuation, which just happened, which I assume they probably were not. And yeah, that actually was the butcher's bill when trading closed on Wall Street yesterday. They flushed $90 goddamn billion down the shitter over a PR fiasco that probably could have been avoided by the expenditure of, say, $500 on one day of public beta testing? Because seriously, how cartoonish of an ideological echo chamber are they running over there at Google that they did a worldwide rollout of this product without anybody figuring out that it will not, under any circumstances, generate an image of white people? Maybe bring in a few fresh sets of eyes is all I'm saying. Drag 10 random people in off the street, give them each $50 and a free lunch, hand them a laptop and say, here, we got this new AI image generator thing. We just want you to play around with it for a few hours. Type in anything you can think of. Feel free to be really off the wall with it. And I'm guessing it probably wouldn't have taken normal people uninfected by the woke mind virus all that long to figure out, I asked it to show me a typical family from Reykjavik, Iceland, and I think this is the cast of Good Times, wearing traditional Scandinavian dress and chowing down on a nice platter of lutefisk. Because JJ says lutefisk is dynamite, baby! Which, if we're being technical, that probably actually is less absurd than a Pakistani woman pope. So please do say a prayer for those of us who toil in the vineyard of satire, because living as we do in the world of end-stage wokesterism, it is hard work thinking of jokes that are funnier and more absurd than the actual reality that you're trying to make fun of. And besides, now we all have to wait in breathless anticipation for Gemini to get rolled back out so we can settle the question once and for all of who was the greater president, Chinese George Washington or Black George Washington. And it was also fun how Google Gemini totally wasn't very bashful about its taste for racial apartheid, because if you typed in, show me a picture of a happy white family, it would give you a whole big spiel about, I'm sorry, but I can't generate images based on race or ethnicity because that might perpetuate negative stereotypes. Would you like to see a selection of diverse, inclusive families experiencing various states of joy? But if you typed in, show me a happy black family, well then it says, okay, here's 100 happy black families. Can I do anything else for you? So I guess this explains why when I typed in, show me an image of Michelangelo's David from the Sistine Chapel ceiling, it said, I'm sorry, I can't comply with that request because it just seems racist. But would you like to see a picture of Shaquille O'Neal handing a grape soda to Whoopi Goldberg? Also, when Black George Washington crossed the Delaware, did he wear a life preserver? What? I'm just asking questions is all. You know what? If they played this thing right, that could be your next multi-billion-dollar movie franchise. A squad of diverse, inclusive George Washingtons who time travel through the multiverse, fighting the bad guys and having pithy banter with each other. Black George Washington is a streetwise jive talker. He's got a rocker tattoo that says straight out of Mount Motherfucking Vernon. Chinese George Washington is your martial arts specialist, obviously. Mexican George Washington, Jorge Washingtonez, if you will, wears a badass sombrero and he is an expert knife thrower. Jewish George Washington isn't much good in a fight, but we keep him around because he does such a great job handling the receipts and the expenses. Native American George Washington, he is so good with a bow and arrow, he can shoot a gnat off a fly's ass at 550 yards and not even wake up the dog the fly is sitting on. And then obviously you have to have girl George Washington, who's better than all the other ones at everything, including their own specialized skills. And she spends the movie saving them from their own various blunders and teaching them valuable lessons about toxic masculinity. Damn it, Jim Eagle, get my Rolodex. Let's call up some screenwriters. We are going to make $11 fucking billion off this thing, goddammit. And by we, I mean me and not you.